All right, my friends. So let's talk about libraries in Python. Yeah, so basically, a Python library is a collection of modules that contain functions and classes that you can reuse in your project. So I'll give an example. We created this, and we have multiple modules in here. So you see, we have the first module that can basically contain multiple, functions or classes. We have the second module, which is the products.py module that can also contain multiple functions. And right here inside the arithmetic folder or directory, this can be referred to as a library of arithmetic functions, right? Or arithmetic objects or classes, right? The point is you are basically grouping these items together to serve a specific purpose, right, within your project. Okay, so it's more about the structure. When we talk about packages, which is the next thing I want to mention here, when we talk about packages, we're basically referring to a set of module that you have put together to achieve a specific purpose, right? So actually, you can have user-defined packages. You can have packages downloaded via PIP, basically from PyPy, which is the package repository, the official package repository for Python. I'll show us how to use that. For now, if we have an example like this, we'll say import math. Math right here is a built-in library in Python. It contains series of functions and methods that you can basically call to perform some mathematical calculations. Okay, so this is basically a library, right, that we have built into Python, and we can reuse it. Okay, so now let's talk about packages. So packages can be installed from the web. I'll show you an example on how to install these packages. Looking at the terminal right now, I will simply say pip3 install requests. Okay, so request is basically a package that we can install. This is going to be downloaded from the official Python package repository, which is PyPy. We can go ahead and download this into our application. One thing I'm going to do first is to create what we call a virtual environment. So I can say python 3-m vmv. I'll basically explain this later when we get to discuss virtual environment. This is going to create a virtual environment for us here, so that by the time we start installing these packages, it will be restricted to this environment, so that we don't end up having lots of packages installed randomly on our PC, and probably don't need it littered around that way. Okay, so let me go ahead and activate this. I'm going to say source, and I'll simply say vmv, which is the virtual environment I created right here, and I would say bin/activate. We can simply activate this using .fish, but I'm using .fish because I am currently running this shell, the fish shell. Okay, so you can simply run this without the fish. If you're on a Mac, if you're on a Windows, it's going to look different. If you're on a Windows, you probably have something that would look like this: your virtual environment, source, and then activate.bat. This is what you're going to be running if you are on a Windows machine. So I am on a Mac, and I have to use the first command right here. Okay, so now this is activated, which is why you see I have vmv showing up here on my terminal. Of course, that also depends on the terminal you're using. I'm currently using the Z code editor, but even in VS Code, you're still going to see this. All right, so now I can say pip3, and of course it can be pip. If you're currently using this and you're not using the Python 3 command like myself, then of course go ahead and run pip. If you're using Python 3, then of course I would go with pip3 install requests, just like this. So this would install a package. I will show you how to find such package, and where you can basically see such packages. All right, so this has been installed, and if you click on this, then you click on Python 3.9/site packages, you would see what we have installed is right here. Installing the request package, you see it came in with other packages, right? That's why we call it a package, because it can basically work with multiple, or should I say, other packages that have been published while they were creating that package. So you see we have multiple items that were installed in here. So let me go ahead right now and use it. I'm going to simply say um, imports requests. And then I would say requests.get. Simply going to get google.com. I need to put the actual HTTPS, make it look like this. I'll say requests. Let's just say ROEQ equals, right? So this should be requests.get. And then I can print ROEQ.status, or I can just print the status code. Yeah, status code. All right, so let's save this and let's run this file. Let me go ahead and say Python 3 main.py. Okay, so let's see what we get. So that works. We have 200. 200 is the status code, meaning that request was successful. I can say the text, but of course maybe not the text for this one. If you have an actual endpoint that is meant to return some data, you can actually do this. So let's go ahead and use an actual I'll go to JSON placeholder. So that's the URL. I would say /post/1. So this is meant to give us this data. And right here within our code, we can also put in that URL, expecting to get that exact data. If I run this, wait for a while, you see it gave us that exact data in our terminal. So we're able to use this particular package to fetch and also post data to services that are hosted or deployed on the internet. So we can simply check out PyPy. Okay, so pypi.org. Right, so here you see find, install, and publish Python packages with the Python package index. Okay, so we can simply search for packages. You see we have lots and lots of releases right here. We can search for maybe QR code, for example. Let's search for QR code. All right, so we have an example here, QR code image generator. You can filter by date last published or relevance. Always use relevance. I would recommend you make use of relevance, so you can see some of the most used packages right here. So if I click on this, I can install the QR code package, and we also get to see examples on how to use this, right? Maybe I should install this with Peel, which is an additional extension to give us more image functionalities here. I would go ahead and run this install again with Peel, right? And so when I say Peel, I'm just referring to asking PIP to give us this additional install. Okay,